Hey guys, welcome back. Got a little bit more work done today, which is pretty cool. Also got some parts in. These plates are finished. I had someone ask why I bother even doing this. Well, a lot of motors, if you're running them at 80 to 90 volts, they do produce a little bit of heat. And a good motor is a cool motor. As the motor gets hotter, it drops in performance. And obviously, you'll lose miles. Anyway, I've been doing this for years and I've had no issues with it whatsoever. Basically, all you really need is a woodchuck. Wherever I put that. What did I do with that? Let me find it. Oh, there it is. You get a woodchuck like this. You get them in different sizes. You can make the holes bigger if you want. You take your time and do one nice and neat like that. You don't have to really space them out that. Make them really neat. And then what you do is you just basically sit on top of the other one like that, take a permanent marker and just basically poke a dot in the center of each hole, and you'll end up like that. These San Ace 40s that I have in here are potted, and they're good up to, I believe, 15 or 16 volt, and they really wail. They're going to be pulling air through the little hole and then out this way, which will, as one of these holes pass past the fan, it'll basically move the air from one end to the plate to the other, which will help cool the motor instead of it being inside, trapped in the heat, being trapped inside. I ended up using, instead of steel grills, I ended up using plastic, and I used shoe goo, which is this stuff here. It's flexible when it dries. Stuff is really good. It doesn't, won't crack or fall into the wheel, and you can't even push it in. It's pretty solid. Anyway, those are done. When you do drill them out, you can use a permanent marker just to rub on the inside, because obviously it's going to be silver, and you're really going to notice it. But when you use a marker, it sort of makes it look factory, and you can go a couple of years like that just by using a marker instead of painting it. I put a thermal diode, which is still drying, in there. That'll be wired on the other side. I was actually happy to find out that my junk tech has a temperature sensor built right into it. So that'll be sweet. Be able to monitor the motor through that. Maybe even set it up where if it gets too hot, it'll step down the amps or something, or volts, whatever. I don't know how it's going to work. The temperature probe will be going out the other side of the axle that I drilled out. I got 12 gauge going into this. This is the main axle that was already drilled out factory. I honed it a little bit more just to get the 12 gauge through it, which wasn't easy. I had to actually oil them up and push them in and push them through with a pair of needle nose, and it was not easy to get that to budge. Those will go through the hole on the other side. They'll go directly to the hub motor. The next, well, obviously it's a three-phase. So the next one will be going in the other axle, and this will be going through the other axle. And the 12-volt lead, or it'll be a 12-volt lead for the fans, will be going through the other axle. What I'm going to be doing for the fans to step up the voltage is I think I have one here. I have a DC-DC inverter that will step the 12 volts to, say, 15 volts, which will make these things wail. I'll set it probably here, and I'll pot it, glue it down, and adjust the pot so it will take it up to 15 volts. Last year or previous years, what I've done is I've run that DC and DC inverter out of the bike, and it was a pain in the butt. Like I said, I want a nice clean setup this time. So, what else? Pretty much all I've done. Oh, I mean, another issue I had last year was grips. I like these BMX or mountain bike grips with the aluminum ends, and you have the Allen keys where you can tighten them up. Issue with that is you don't have much of a selection when it comes to grips when you use a a twist grip. Over the years, I've been stuck doing shit like that where it's uneven and you have to really wedge it on there. I actually had to use grease to get this bloody thing on there. Good luck trying to get it off. But you're pretty limited on what grips you can use if you use a grip throttle. I'm going with a thumb this time around. Get used to it. I think it'll be safer, especially when I'm running the higher voltages. So basically all I have to do is just drop my thumb and the power stops. Even with the cutoff switch, I've had situations where a driver's cut me off, and I'm basically fighting with the brake to get the bike to stop because I can't let go of the throttle fast enough. So the thumb throttle is probably a good idea. That, and now I have a selection of whatever grips I want, nice and comfortable, not junk like that. And what else have I been doing? That's about it. These voltmeters that I showed, the battery capacitor meters, they're not going to be used on the bike. They're for another project here. I'm making, out of the old packs, I'm basically building packs for work using my home if the power goes out. That's all they're really good for now. But as you can see, I have a portawatt that I could just basically plug it in. And I basically got a backup up and running. And I've already tested it. I've ran computers off of it and everything. These things are actually still pretty good for that. So these two here, this one's for the bike. You have to do a review and test these things, but from what I've seen, they work pretty good. What I'm probably going to do is I'm going to put them like that, and then I'll wrap it in black shrink wrap just to finish them off. It'll look pretty good. It's already got a BMS on them, so. When it comes to the hull wires, I'm not too sure what I'm going to use. I got a couple of bags of this wire here that I ordered in Arab a couple of months ago. This is 22 gauge. I might end up using that for the hull wires coming up the other axle. Picked up some more nickel for the batteries, but I'm not going to be really posting anything on the batteries for now. Once I get some more, obviously. That's basically, like I said, that's half a pack right there. So it's going to be pretty big. And then I got to get another one of these, bigger enough to hold this, and then I'll put another bracket on there so I can just basically hook it right on the bike. Good to go. This BMS will be used with these batteries. It's going to be sweet. Anyway, yeah, that's about as far as I got. In the next couple of days, I'll probably wire the fans up and we'll run a test on them with the DC-DC inverter. Make sure that's up and running. Then we'll go from there. Take it easy, guys.